Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the latest issue of Warhammer 40k Imperium magazine. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, drop a comment down below. I love hearing back from you guys, and it goes a massive way to help the channel too. Now, this week we're on issue 51 of Imperium magazine, and it is a paint issue. Nothing to shout about, nothing too fantastic, but we do have Dawnstone. A pretty decent grey shade of paint. It's kind of right in slap bang in between good old Administratum grey and Mechanica Standard grey, in all honesty. And we also have Pallid Witch Flesh, which is good for you, them kind of mottled, pallid, kind of fleshy tones that you can utilise as well, and a lot of characters, including the kind of the tatty skin wearing good old flayed ones, so not too bad really. So into the issue itself, though, of course we are greeted by one of our models from last week, from the Necron Royal Court, the Scorpek Lord. So these are masters of the Red Harvest. So Scorpek Lords were once proud Necron nobles who have been infected by the Destroyer curse and now seek only to slaughter organic beings. Their bodies are twisted mockeries of the Necron form, modified and enhanced with only killing in mind. So, with this in mind, obviously, it's a bit of a bigger destroyer. They are pretty cool. They obviously follow the Red Harvest, so the Scorpek destroyers belong to the cult of Red Harvest, and they seek to eradicate all organic life and prefer to do so up close and personal, using the colossal reaping blades, including their flensing claws, which are crafted with cleaving of weak organic material in mind, so razor sharp talons just like the flayed ones. They also have this hyperphase harvester blade, which is obviously, it has the ability to phase through enemy armour and deal absolute devastating army to the soft squishy flesh below. And also they have the Enemitic Annihilator as well, which is their ranged weapon, which obviously fires like all others. It fires this hyper beam of energy and heat, which goes across the battlefield and just basically causes the target's atoms to erupt and repel one another, and it basically explodes the enemy in a shower of gore, which sounds absolutely wonderful in my opinion. And we also get to do its battle record on the other side, of course, as per usual, so you can give it its noble name and title. You can also give it its dynastic epithet, and of course you can also give it its annihilation charts as well. So whether it's butchered an entire orc war party or boarded and scoured a tyrannid vessel, for instance, you can use those acts of annihilation as well to give it a bit more background and a bit more to it as well. So pretty cool stuff. Then on the next page we are greeted by one of our other HQ models from last week, which is the Plasmancer. These are harbingers of destruction. So, a master of raw plasma energy, Plasmancers use their eldritch lances to project beams and waves of searing light and heat that illuminate the battlefield and consume the Crypteks foes in gouts of searing witchfire. So, of course, these are kind of your, in a roundabout way, in the layman's terms, for your slightly soft, squishy, but magical utilising characters. So they'd be kind of like a wizard if it was Age of Sigmar, for instance. And these use these plasmic lances, should I say. So though it is primarily utilised as a melee weapon, this pole arm can channel plasma energy and discharge it towards the foe, allowing the Plasmancer to stay far away from melee combat. They have these energy conduits on the back as well, which help them kind of propel these searing waves. And they also use Cryptek flight, as it is a Cryptek unit as well. So really, really cool stuff. But yeah, really, really nice, and they're pretty damn cool. They look really quite funky and have a little bit of something to them as well, which is pretty damn cool about them. And of course you get to give it its Cryptek name, epithet, and you can also give it its degradation name chart as well. So whether it tallies for slain victims, it's an alloy to the destroyer cults, or it could even just gather the charred bones of victims. Whatever its kind of a weird little hobby is, in a roundabout way. You can also name its weapon as well, which you could have it as Gloaming Doom, Void Sunder, or Plasmatalon, when I can learn to speak. yeah, really, really cool stuff, but pretty interesting and pretty different as well. With this as well, you also get to have your crypto thralls, so the two of the other little minis that you got last week. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. So crypto thralls are the automatons created by the Crypteks to serve as bodyguards and personal protectors. Though slow and ponderous when operating alone, they truly come to life in the presence of a Cryptek, enhancing their combat abilities. So these ones are not your standard Necrons. These have kind of been designed to defend your Cryptek units, including things like your Plasmancer and such like, and they are just a bodyguard unit really. So you can utilise them in that way, which look pretty cool and pretty different. With these, you don't really name them; you give them a unit designation because they work in a pair more than anything. So you can give them their kind of nickname essentially, so whether they are protector constructs or dread guards. You can also give them their enhancements protocols as well, so whether it's defending Cryptek laboratories or shield Cryptek units, and you can also have its enhancement whether it could do, I don't know, silent servo motors as its own enhancement and much more. But yeah, really, really cool stuff, and it's a little bit different as well. They are a pretty weird unit, but yeah, they look really, really good. Then, as part of the continuation of delving into the different Space Marine chapters, there is the Raven Guard. So these are the sons of Corax, and of course, Corax being one of the main white paints is named after, of course. So, masters of stealth-based warfare, the Raven Guard strike from the shadows using sabotage, guerrilla tactics, and targeted strikes to pick apart their foes. By the time the Raven Guard are ready to engage in open warfare, their weakened enemies are already in confusion and disarray, primed for swift destruction. So the Raven Guard are one of these cool units as well. They're mostly in black with red trim and the white Aquila and much more, and kind of chest pieces, an occasional white helmet, and they also do use sometimes the skull kind of face masks as well, which look really, really cool, and they are pretty decent as well. I must admit, one of the other chapters I do really, really like, and yeah, really, really good stuff. So you get quite a bit of information about them. They also do utilise every now and then. They will use, they'll rarely fight as one unified force. Instead, they do like to make use of lightning assaults, often undertaken by dropships and fast-moving speeders, and much more. So really, really good stuff. Then moving on, we get one of the other stories from the 41st millennium, so War in the Scrap Heap. So on the surface of Thendatha, a death corps of Krieg kill team attempts to sabotage an Orc facility and disrupt the Green Screen's war effort in the Octarius sector. So if you're unaware, the death corps Krieg are a unit, a kind of a faction that have only kind of just started to come about, because they used to be a Forge World only set, and they haven't had a main plastic release very recently. They look really, really cool. They look actually like they're straight from World War II, but yeah, they look fantastic. They look pretty cool, and yeah, they like to be a bit scrappy as well at the same time, especially against things like orcs, which is always good fun. And then we get our how to paint guide. So this is how to just utilise the new colours that we've had to enhance the look of what you've already painted up so far. So whether it is using a bit of Dawnstone on top of black hair to kind of give it that kind of depth as well. So if you have any other Space Marines with Mohawks, for instance, you can do that little bit of Dawnstone over them, and they'll look fantastic, and they'll give us just that little touch of kind of extra flavour as well. For Pallid Witch flesh, you can use it on things like your cloth tabards. You can use it over flesh areas as well. It'll make it look very, very different and kind of make them look a bit pale and ghost-like and ethereal, really. So yeah, really, really cool stuff. When you utilise it though, things like your captain will start looking better. Same with your lieutenants and your aggressors as well. They can look really, really cool, depending on how you utilise the paint. Entirely up to you though if you want to utilise them in that way. Then moving on, we get our data sheets, of course. So we have our MacLeod, which has a power of 7. Really, really cool stuff. They are a pretty beastly unit as well, so they have some pretty cool bits to them. Really good stuff, and pretty damn good unit as well. And also their tutorial of how to utilise certain abilities with them, with the other destroyers and stuff like that we have had before. Your Plasmancer, obviously having a shooting range and a melee range with that lance. Really cool stuff. And yeah, pretty damn cool good old Cryptek unit as well. And also you get to utilise their own personal rules, including Living Lightning and Harbinger of Destruction, so their own unique abilities. And then your Crypto Thralls as well. So with the Crypto Thralls, they are of course a little bit more different. They're not super strong, they're a little bit squishy, but they are basically to protect. So they have an aura that kind of designed to serve their Cryptek masters as bodyguards, sacrificing themselves to protect from masters as well at the same time. The Protector's ability reflects this duty by preventing enemy units from targeting a Cryptek with ranged weapons whenever that Cryptek is within 3 inches of a unit of Crypto Thralls. So keep that in mind. And then we have our battle for this week, which is a pretty cool one, Death in the Dockyards. So with this one, if you are playing as the Necrons, you will be utilising your Scorpek Lord, your Plasmancer, 2 Crypto Thralls, your Cryptek Reanimator, so everything from last week, 3 Scorpek Destroyers and 1 Cryptek Plasmacite, against all your Adeptus Sororitas so far, so your Canoness, your 3 Seraphim, your 7 Battle Sisters, your Arco Flagellants, 3 Sisters Repentia, your Repentia Superior, and also going up against the Tech Priest Dominus and your 3 Cataphron Destroyers from the Adeptus Mechanicus range. And have at it. Really cool stuff. The Destroyer cults seek only to slaughter their foes. If the Imperium is to claim victory, they must greet savagery with savagery. So for basically you get 1 victory point for each enemy unit destroyed. Players score 2 victory points for destroying the enemy Warlord as well, which will be your Scorpek Lord or your Canoness in these cases. And at the end of the battle, player with the most victory points is victorious, of course. So really cool stuff, and pretty easy to get on with, so not too bad. On to next week though, we are going to be having our first of 2 parts, so the second part will be the week after, which is our Triarch Stalker. Pretty damn cool. It's spread across 2 issues, so you're not going to be building it in one go. But you will be able to prepare and try and catch up with other projects from before and get them sorted as well. So entirely up to you, but really cool and happy days. So really cool unit, and I must admit I'm looking forward to getting my hands on it. So happy days. With that said though, that is it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye bye now.